So, are white people the Edomites? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, the Black Hebrew Israelites believe that white people are the ones who believe that white people are the Edomites from the Bible. Now, the Black Hebrew Israelites, I've talked about them before. Basically, these are a bunch of blacks in America that believe that black people in America are God's chosen people, and not the Jews, the people that we know of today as the Jews. Now, the Black Hebrew Israelites, they believe this based off of absolutely no evidence. I've seen no evidence in the Bible to support that narrative, but they believe it nonetheless. And at the end of the day, it's all just race hustling. That's why so many blacks are gravitating to it, because they gravitate to anything that whenever race starts, we come down to black people, whenever race starts, brains stop. And all you got to do is just tell them race, and they'll often run there like the damn, the basically ultimate warrior. They just running, and when they get out of their feelings, they'll stop running. Well, this is them joining the Black Hebrew Israelites is the example of that. They believe that nonsense with no evidence, and most of what they say, I just take it with a figurative grain of salt. I just listen to it and keep going and may get a good laugh out of it. So I've heard this white people are Edomites nonsense before. I didn't even bother dealing with it, because for what? It's going to be insane. So I heard one of those street preachers in the video say this. So I decided I'm going to go look it up and see why exactly do they believe that white people are the Edomites, okay? But first off, who are the Edomites? Well, Edomites are people from the land of Edom. And Edom existed from the 13th century BC until about 553 BC, when they were conquered by Babylon. I believe it was Babylon, okay? And it existed just south of Judah, the tribe of Judah. And of course, based upon this map here, this map is basically a map that was after Israel and Judah split up. Now, they basically are the descendants of Esau, and Esau was the brother of Jacob, of course. And they both had the same parents, Isaac and Rebekah. Now, we know the story of Esau. He was born first. He had red hair, and he gave up because he was born first. He had the birthright. He gave it up for a bowl of soup to Jacob. Now, why do black people, they believe this, that white people are the Edomites? Honestly, I looked it up, and I really didn't find anything to support that. There's nothing at all. The only thing I can see, I've heard made is that, they say that he had red hair, and supposedly black people don't have red hair. And this was talked about when both Esau and Jacob was born in Genesis 25:25. And as a result of this, they believe that Esau is white. I'm guessing. I saw no evidence of no argument that they've made beyond that. Now, why that's nonsense? Well, first and foremost, they both had the same mother and the same father. They were brothers, okay? Isaac and Rebekah were their parents. So if that's the case, then how is Jacob black but Esau, how did he get white? That literally makes no sense. Now, genetically speaking, two dark-skinned black people can have a somewhat light-skinned child, but there's limits to that, and it's extremely rare. You want to believe that was a rare chance it happened, but at the end of the day, that child is still black. It's not white. So, how the hell Esau become white is, I don't know. Like I said, beyond me, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. Now, the second reason why this doesn't make any sense is because, well, they're all in the Middle East. And you telling me that if Esau was white, then white people were in the Middle East then? Because one of the excuses that they use for why black people are the God's chosen people is because black people were in Africa. White people weren't in Africa. So it must have been, so God's chosen people must be black. But now they're telling you that white people were in Africa. And of course, the Middle East, I learned about a year ago, is part of Africa. But now they're telling us that white people were in the Middle East. So if white people were in the Middle East and they was just south of Judah, then who's to say that Judah and Israel weren't also white? And anybody else in the Middle East weren't white. If you want to tell me that Esau was white, again, it just makes absolutely no sense. This is just yet another example of a stupid point that these Black Hebrew Israelites have that's not rooted in anything biblical at all. But they believe it nonetheless, and they keep pushing this nonsense out there. And like I said, that's why I always issue these warnings to these Black Hebrew Israelites, because the Bible says you don't add and take away from his word. And they're adding to his word. And that right there is a pathway to the lake of fire. And that's where these Black Hebrew Israelites are heading if they're going to be out here preaching at nothing but hate. And they don't preach the love of Christ. They're not out here winning souls for Christ. They're just preaching hate and telling the world that it's all about the black. Anyway, so I haven't seen any evidence that these people put forward to prove that white people are the Edomites. And I, like I said, if anyone has any other evidence that they put forward, please bring it forward. But I didn't find anything, and I searched. All I found was somebody mentioning that Esau had red hair, and that's it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on this nonsense. And as always, until next time.